All right, y'all, welcome back and happy Thursday. Today, we're going to be jumping inside the film room and breaking down Syracuse three deep safety looks. It's something that we've covered on this channel several times. It gave Tennessee's offense the most trouble over the past couple of seasons because we want to spread the field out wide, count the numbers inside of the box. If it's light, then we're going to run it. With three deep safeties, you can show that the box is light, creep a safety down late. It messes with those numbers. Really, Arkansas's game plan last season might have been the best game plan on defense that anyone had versus Tennessee's offense, maybe since Coach Heupel's been here. And I know that some people might not think that that's true, but man, they really shut down almost everything that we tried to do. And that's why I think we ultimately ended up losing that game. We almost won it, but we still lost. So will Syracuse run more of this in 2025? Because last year they really only ran it about 50 or 60 times, something like that. I think that it's very possible that we see some of this in our opener, but they might play us more straight up and down. Either way, I think that Tennessee will find several holes, several weaknesses in Syracuse defense, and our offense should be able to move the football. The biggest and strongest point of emphasis in this video is just going to be take care of the football, take what they give you. But with all that being said, y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So starting right here, okay, this is going to be cover two. Whenever Syracuse did run this three deep safety look, which number one, I think that they will run three safeties, maybe not always three safeties deep, just because it sounds like they've got more depth at safety and maybe in their secondary. But either way, okay, they ran cover two the most with the three deep safety look. And this is how cover two looks with three deep safety. So red is going to be all the safeties, and then blue is going to be cornerbacks every single time. So cover two, man, it takes away like the deep outside stuff, takes away a lot of the short outside stuff. More slants is going to be there. Post is definitely there. There's a couple of like corner routes and maybe some outs in certain situations that you can also run. But typically, you just want to try to run the football versus cover two. But we're going to be starting off with just like passing plays and showing you what some of these other programs did and, just how the defense looks with Syracuse. So that's a post. Tennessee hasn't run that many posts here recently, but we need to bring that back, okay? Because I think that we can execute on passes like this. Now, that's a very tight window, but if we're on time, every single one of our quarterbacks has the arm talent to be able to make this pass. And we have wide receivers that I think could run this route beautifully and get open. Now, the deeper version of this, because this is more like a skinny post, but if it's more like a true post that's more to the middle, that could be 6 points. So expect to see a whole lot of those types of openings for this offense. Probably won't see too many openings for the outs, which is good for us because we do not want pick sixes. But also verse cover two, the underneath like drag, those are going to be there, right? So we'll see it again from this end zone copy. You can see how tight this window actually is with the linebacker playing right there. So boom here, linebacker's there. The pass has got to be accurate. It's only what, like a 10, 15 yard, and not even 15. It's maybe only like 10 yards, but it's got to be on point, right? So if the passes are accurate there, then we're going to be fine. And then look, playmakers make plays, whether that's, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. We got plenty of guys who can do that. So expect a lot of, hopefully, yards after the catch from a very, very talented group from that standpoint. Now, verse cover two, you'll also have some times when literally nothing is going to be open. We're going to have to do a great job as, with our quarterbacks to try to buy some more time, okay? And just find somebody down the field or just throw the football out of bounds. Just take care of the football. That's what it's all about. So from this end zone copy, you can see just how good the fundamentals are with this quarterback only rushing three. I think that we'll probably see most of that because Syracuse, with three deep safeties, they only blitzed once last year. I don't think that they'll do too much of that versus Tennessee, but we will see. So here, right, quarterback, he's got a little bit of pressure coming, right? Keeps his eyes down the field. He's going to throw it to this wide receiver. There's a guy kind of in that passing window. He's going to wait for the guy to get outside of the passing window, flip his hips, very accurate pass, make the catch. That's all we got to do. Very, very simple. So the second most run coverage with Syracuse in a three deep safety look is cover three. Now, this is cover three seam. What this means is that you're going to have two people playing in that seam area. That's the two smaller red circles, right? So it's something that UGA ran a lot of versus Tennessee, especially last year. It's just taking away everything vertical. You got to take all the underneath stuff. Slants will definitely be there. And we know that Coach Brown, he coached at Georgia, so I'm sure that he's going to be talking to Kirby Smart about how they play Tennessee. We should see, whenever they do run cover three, might be more cover three seam because I do think the teams will probably try to take away the vertical passing game first with Tennessee's offense. And that's what all this three deep safety stuff does, is it takes that away. But can you sit it down in the weaknesses, in the holes in these defenses? I think that everyone that we have on this team knows to do that. Just throw the football on time. Pre-snap looks is going to be big for us. Now, this is more like a just regular cover three. The difference here, it does look similar, but the difference really would be that those safeties will be closer to the box and playing like in this area, right? But just closer to the line of scrimmage. So it takes away more of the like underneath stuff. Diggs will be there more, versus a typical cover three, but mostly it's going to be like the outside underneath stuff. Now, on this play, Georgia Tech's quarterback is going to throw this deep out, and this is a hell of a pass. Wait till y'all see it from this end zone copy. Really strong arm. Watch this football fly out of his hands. Boom, gets there quick. That's a tough pass. That's probably the toughest pass to make in cover three. But we can also run some deep overs and crosses. We have answers, y'all. Like we're mixing some things up with our route tree, with our play calling and scheme. So I think we'll be fine. Now this is quarters. This is what Syracuse ran the like least out of their three deep safety looks. Okay, so quarters just means that you're going to have some version of four players playing deep. Okay, taking up a quarter of the deep part of the field. Same thing. Just take all the underneath stuff, and then down at the bottom, I've got this cornerback playing in man-to-man coverage, but just because there's only one pass-catching threat there, that's typically what happens with quarters coverage. But, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to run this, but the biggest thing is a lot of times with Tennessee's vertical passing game, okay, versus quarters coverage over the past couple of seasons, nothing has been there. So will we be willing to just eat it, take the sack, and not force the football into coverage? That's going to be huge for us in 2025. Now, these are all like running plays. That's an outside zone, outside stretch play. Tennessee didn't run a ton of that last season, but we will probably do more of it in 2025, especially versus a tight or mint front. That's what Georgia runs. I think that's what Syracuse will also run. So we've got to be able to do that, and then you could just run right at them with inside zone, quarterback stuff. That's always going to be there. I hope that Tennessee does some of that. Obviously like read options, that stuff that's going to be there. RPOs, any of the option game stuff that should help out versus this three deep safety look. And, I think that Tennessee is going to be perfectly fine. This is a game that we will be leaning on our, offensive, just like, running backs, tight ends. I think mostly 12 personnel for sure to start this season off. And versus the 12 personnel looks, Syracuse really didn't switch anything with their three deep safety look, right? Again, they didn't run it that much last season, but it felt like it didn't change if it was 12 personnel. They didn't try to creep up into the box or nothing. They just, hey, based off of the situation, we think that this team wants to try to throw it vertically, so we're going to try to just play deep. So I don't know how much will that change versus Tennessee, because we will run the football down their throats if that's what they want to do. But I just wanted to throw that in there that, hey, it doesn't too much matter. And also this program right here with their offense, we talked a lot about maybe running some more, like 20 personnel looks. They do a lot of that with their system. I think that it's called like the go-go system. I've been looking into it, and I think that it's something that Tennessee could definitely add to our system. Just some of the stuff that they do, it should be deadly, but there's going to be several answers for Tennessee. Just take care of the football. This could be a game where maybe Tennessee goes, we'll call it anywhere from 20 to maybe 28 of 30, right? For, I don't know, 170, 180 yards, maybe 200 yards. But just a whole bunch of dinking, dunking, and, maybe only one passing touchdown, but we could still win and still win big as long as we take what they give us. And once we start to do that, I think that they'll probably come out of that three deep safety look. And once they do that, then, man, look, we'll throw the football over their heads all day long, because they can't match up with us, with their skill players on the outside. So I think that Tennessee's going to have a really, really good game. This is just one of the little wrinkles that we'll be talking about up to kickoff. But y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts down in that comment section. We'll be talking to y'all later on. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because that keeps us growing inside the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.